going to be making the blue corn cookies, and here's the recipe card for this one. So this one also has brown sugar in it, so we're going to go ahead and start by breaking that part down. So once you take your mix out of the bag and you start mixing it together, just make sure that all of the brown sugar chunks are broken up into smaller pieces and that it's distributed evenly. Okay, so once you've broken up your brown sugar chunks, you can go ahead and add in your butter. Try not to melt your butter all the way. Melt it so that it's pretty soft and pliable. And then we'll go ahead and add this into our mix. And pour that in. Mix this together. If you are going to be adding any chocolate or nuts or anything like that to your cookie mix, you want to go ahead and add that in now before you add in the rest of your liquids. And then what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and add the vanilla. So the vanilla, you need 2 teaspoons. So we're going to go ahead and add that in now. You can also change the extracts if you want to. Almond goes really well with blue corn, and so does like orange or lemon. It's really up to you. So we also need 2 tablespoons of honey. This one gives it a really nice flavor, so we'll go ahead and add that in. This also requires 1 egg. So in that same bowl you had your butter in, you can go ahead and crack your egg in there and then just whisk it together so that you don't have dried yolk particles in your mix. You can add that in, and then you're also going to want to put a tablespoon of water in there, and it doesn't really matter what the temperature is of the water. So we'll go ahead and add that in, and then we'll stir this up. So you just keep mixing until your cookie dough kind of comes together. This cookie dough is not super wet. It's actually pretty crumbly, and the recipe, it produces a really nice kind of like a thicker, soft cookie. The outside should be pretty crunchy, but the inside will be nice and soft. And those are the cookies that we love. So once you've got to this consistency, you should be able to grab a little piece of dough out and it should be pretty pliable. Once you get to this consistency, you can stop mixing. I've started scooping out the cookie dough, and I'm using a 2-ounce ice cream scoop. You can use you can use a big spoon if you want to. We're making bigger sized cookies. These will actually expand, not too much, but they'll expand a pretty good amount. But the thickness of the cookie will stay there, depending on whether or not you flatten them. You can also roll these out if you want to, if you like thinner, crunchier cookies. If you like thick, soft cookies, honestly, you can just leave them in a scoop like this and flatten them out just a tiny bit, and they'll bake out. They'll expand maybe about a little less than an inch, but the height will remain there, and those are really good too. So we like them plain. You can keep them like this if you want to, or if you look at the recipe card, I also have an option, like an optional area in there for cinnamon and sugar. So you just scoop out your cookie dough, and then I already have it pre-mixed in a paper plate over here. So all I'm gonna do is go ahead and just roll it in there. Cover it in that cinnamon sugar, and then we'll put that on the tray. So scoop it, pat it down a little bit so that it doesn't fall apart. And then you can roll it in here. These are really good like this too, but honestly, these cookies don't really need cinnamon sugar. It's just a suggestion if you want to try something different. If you want to add, you know, like an orange zest to this, or if you're thinking about making it with lemon zest, it's really good too. I always add lemon zest to my sugar cookies because it gives it a small amount of, like, it's almost like tangy, or it cuts through that sweetness. It's really good. So you can add your zests, or, you know, if you want to change up the extract flavor, you can do that also. This recipe makes exactly 10 2-ounce scoops. If you want to do smaller cookies, you can. It's really up to you. And what I did, or what I like to do, is, you know, just press it in, kind of like peanut butter cookies. It'll still bake out pretty thick, but I really like thicker cookies that are soft, so I'll go ahead and I won't press them down too hard. I'll do these ones too. Yep, and that's pretty much it. It'll take you, like, honestly, like 5 minutes to make these cookies. So all you do is add everything in and then scoop them. So on the recipe card, your oven should be preheated to about 350, and these cookies will take anywhere from 15 minutes to 20 minutes depending on how hot your oven is. Also, on the recipe card, we have parchment paper, so we use parchment paper here. If you want to, if you don't have parchment paper, you can also use like a baking spray very lightly on the surface of your pan, and that should work just fine as well. So I'm gonna start at 15 minutes. Alright guys, this is the end result. As you can see, the cookies pretty much stayed pretty thick, and there's a slight amount of browning on the outside. These were in the oven for about 16 to 17 minutes. These are the plain cookies right here, and then these are the cookies that we rolled in the cinnamon sugar right here. So yeah, and if you do decide to add anything to it, you know, like chocolate or nuts, if you do decide to add like nuts or chocolate or anything like that to your cookie, make sure you add it in before you add in any of your wets. It'll be a lot easier to mix. So we're just gonna let these cool down, and then we'll go ahead and take one off the sheet pan and show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is the finished product, and the bottom is a little brown, the sides are a little brown, but it's still really soft. It's about this big, and it's pretty thick. That's what it looks like on the inside. This is the cookie that we rolled in cinnamon sugar. It's really good. We love this cookie. So if you do decide to put anything in it, you know, again, show us what you guys created. Use the hashtag ForciaPlateOnly on Instagram, or tag us on Facebook. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.